Hi friends, welcome back to Orash YouTube channel. In today's video, I will teach you how to fix underexposed images in Adobe Photoshop. So without any further ado, let's get started. I have these two sample images opened in Adobe Photoshop, and by the way, you can switch to the next open document in Adobe Photoshop by pressing Ctrl tab on your keyboard like this. So here's the first sample. To me, this photo looks like a little bit underexposed. So we will just open up the camera raw filter by going to the filter menu and choosing camera raw filter. The shortcut key for camera raw filter is Ctrl+Shift+A on your keyboard. The camera raw filter is now opened. So first thing we should try is click on the auto button and let's see if the Adobe Camera Raw automatically tries to fix the underexposed image for us. So by clicking the auto button, it brings back the details in the shadow areas. So if we just click the auto button once again to turn off the corrections we just made, you can see here was the before and here is the after. Well, the image looks quite good, but the tip here is you can check the sliders in the Adobe Camera Raw filter. Only 3 sliders or 4 have been changed much, and a little bit change on the vibrance slider in the positives, of course. So just turn off the auto and notice how the sliders change on highlights, shadows, whites and blacks. Not much is changed in this area where it says texture, clarity and dehaze. So I will click the auto once again to turn the automatic settings off. This time I will try to increase the contrast myself and look how it affects the image. So I think we should just decrease the contrast a little bit, like -20. And as for the highlights, you can see there are a lot of highlights in the clouds as this was an overcast day. So just hold the Alt key on your keyboard and try to drag the highlight slider so you don't mess up with the highlights too much. I will just leave it on -7. Now it's time to increase the shadows, so all the details which have been lost in the shadows on the hair of this girl, we want to bring those details back by increasing the shadow slider. I think +42 would do. Don't go too far, and let's just decrease the whites as well to -21 and just decrease the blacks too somewhere -19. Increase the texture wherever it looks good to your eye. I will leave it on +23 and try to mess up with this slider which says clarity. Just increase it a little bit, and the dehaze slider should do good here, as the image look a little hazy because of the overcast day. And if you want to add a little oomph to the image, just increase the vibrance a little bit. Don't go too far again, just a little bit, like +15. If you want, you can also add the details by adding sharpness to this image, but I think in our case this is already good enough. So I will just hit OK. So if I press Ctrl+Z to undo this, here was the before, and Ctrl+Shift+Z to redo, here is the after, before and after. So that's how you fix an underexposed image in Adobe Photoshop. But let's get to our next example by pressing Ctrl tab and pressing Ctrl+ on Numpad to zoom in. Let's do the same thing here by pressing Ctrl+Shift+A to open up the camera raw filter. And this time if we click on the auto, nothing much is changed. Only something is changed in the background but not on our subject. So let's try to fix that by using the new method, which is a new feature of Adobe Photoshop CC 2023, and that is this tool which says masking. Let me just bring it towards the left so you can see all these options. If you press and hold down your left mouse button on this icon, you can see these options like select subject, select sky, select background, select objects, select people. Further, you can also fine-tune your selection with the brush tool, and I love this feature which is inside Adobe Camera Raw in new Adobe Photoshop CC 2023. We just want to select people here, so I will choose select people, and it will try to find people in the photo. It will take few seconds, and Photoshop actually did a pretty good job on that. So we want to select the entire person, so I will click entire person, but you can also select a single feature on that person like face, skin, body, skin, eyebrows, lips, teeth, even the hair, and that's really amazing. So just click create and you have selected your subject. Now all the changes you make here would only affect your subject. So you know the drill, just decrease the contrast a little bit, decrease the highlights a little bit, increase the shadows, increase or decrease the white, whatever you like, and increase the blacks or decrease them. That's all your choice. I think I have increased the shadow slider too much, so I will bring it towards left a little, something here. And if you want, you can also correct the color temperature to be more warm or to be on colder side. I think this is okay, and just click OK. Control- to zoom in or Control-0 to zoom to fit. So by pressing Control-Z, we can go back. There was the before. Control-Shift-Z, here's the after. So that's another way to fix underexposed images. By the way, I forgot to tell you in the beginning, always create a duplicate layer of your current document by pressing Ctrl+J on your keyboard. You will create a duplicate layer of the background layer. So if anything bad happens, you can always go back to your background layer. Furthermore, before using the camera raw filter, make sure you go to the filter menu and convert the layer for smart filters. That way the changes you make on the camera raw filter or using any other filters, that won't be permanent. So hope I helped you in today's video in learning something new. If I did, make sure you subscribe to Overcast.